Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/idontworkherelady, where people tell us their craziest stories on when they got mistaken for being an employee at somewhere they didn't work. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Karen tried to get me fired and landed in jail with her kid. So this happened a couple of years ago, and the school staff and police stationed at the school still have a good laugh about it with me every now and then. This story could fit in another sub, but I felt like this one was the best. Now, I work for the state justice system in a diversion program for juveniles. Part of my job requires me to ensure the youths are going to school and not getting into further trouble. So I tend to be at certain schools a lot due to some of the areas I cover being rural counties with normally only one main high school. Often, I just meet with the family and youths at the school for convenience for different reasons, while being supervised by me. Normal parents of well-behaved kids have often mistaken me for staff, and I found it easier just to direct them to the staff they needed. At this point, I never really had a Karen run-in, at least in this situation. In some rural areas, the alternative school is still on the main school campus, but has its own small building where the students are basically in a jail-type school. They cannot leave without a staff escort beyond that building. They have their own bus, separate lunch, and cannot be on campus after student school hours for any reason or participate in school events of any kind, or they face being arrested for trespassing. Now, students can find themselves in here for many reasons, and the school will send students to the alternative program for 45 days as an alternative to out-of-school suspensions. Then there are students who are there permanently till they graduate for one reason or another. And finally, students who get felony charges in the community are placed here as well, due to school board policy through may or may not be a permanent placement. During one of my visits, while in the alternative class, a fight broke out. Not being school staff, I am not authorized to intervene unless I am being directly threatened. So in the CCTV footage of the classroom, you can see me standing there calmly, twice taking a step back to avoid being caught in the scuffle and looking completely unfazed. Now, to the untrained eye, this is how it appears, but the officer who reviewed the footage even noticed that really I was standing in a defensive tactical position. Mainly because this kid was going crazy and was just swinging wildly at anyone that came close to him to help the kid he was attacking, and did strike the teacher trying to put a stop to the fight. So once the situation was under control, the school and school police officers go through the motions required, and of course parents are called. While I start my own reporting requirements for my job and work with the police doing statements, etc. In comes Karen, mother of the student Hulk, who just rampaged a fellow classmate and was now detained in the back of a police car awaiting EMS to clear him before being transported to jail. Karen demanded to see the footage because she felt her child was being targeted by staff and police, and that he wasn't really the instigator but the victim. While watching and seeing that this wasn't the case, she changed tactics and decided to target me by blaming the situation escalating the way it did because I didn't step in before or during the incident to stop it. Now, as a side note, I had my work cell in my possession and was responding to a parent that was running late to see me, and I was now in the classroom to escort one of my youths to the meeting room, as not to take the school staff away for other needs on campus. Plus, it's just faster if I go get them, as I have clearance to do so. This Karen incident occurred in the dean's office, which is where I already was, and was asked to stay for one reason or another by the dean and officer when she came in to watch the footage. Altogether, this whole interaction after watching the footage was not even 5 minutes. K, Karen, M, me, D, school dean, and O, school resource officer. Karen suddenly turns her head around at me in a quick exorcist-style head turn and begins rudely yelling at me. "Why are you just standing there and not doing your job?" Excuse me? Karen cut me off. I was honestly caught off guard by her that I didn't really process what she said. "You're just calmly standing there the whole time and didn't do anything to stop the fight. Why were you even on your phone? If you were paying attention, this whole fight probably wouldn't have happened. I want you fired for neglecting your job and not protecting my child." "Ma'am, I don't work for the school." "Yes you do, and you need to be fired. I'm going to report you to the school board." "She really isn't school staff." Karen quickly responds before the dean could even reply. "Then why was she even in the classroom? Only school staff and police officers can be in there." "Listen, she is like me, and..." Karen cuts him off. Yes, she was crazy enough to cut off a uniformed police officer mid-sentence. "That's a lie. I've seen her here all the time working, and she's obviously not a police officer, so she is school staff." Now directing her rant at me again. "You should be fired for laziness and causing this fight." Yes, somehow her child going Hulk smash on a fellow classmate and destroying school property in the process was now all my fault. While my brain was processing the stupidity that was being uttered at me in the volume and pitch of what sounded like a velociraptor scream, the dean and officer tried to calm and redirect this crazy Karen, saying many more times that I wasn't school staff, and trying to explain my role was similar to the police officer in that I am not employed by the school, but I do work at the school under the justice system and courts. I tried to tell her as well again that I didn't work for the school, and that I wasn't allowed to intervene in the situation. Karen was having none of it, and at this point was like talking to a brick wall in human form. There was a lot of back and forth conversations / velociraptor screams going on that the other police officer came to see what was going on and ensure everyone, mainly his partner, was safe. That's when it happened. "She works here and should be fired. This is all your fault that my son is being arrested." With this last proclamation, Karen picks the candy jar that was on the dean's desk and throws it at me. Now, luckily, I have fast reactions, but in the process of protecting my face with my hand / arm, the jar broke and cut me significantly. At least it wasn't my face that got injured. It's weird how crazy people have that uncanny aim when throwing things in anger to hit the face / head. I've never been so smug watching police tackle a crazy person to the ground and handcuff them. Even though I don't work for the school, I am a state employee just like school staff, and battery on a state employee where I live is a felony crime. Karen's screams at this point became just a bunch of nonsense mixed with cursing. To paraphrase it up, "She should be the one getting arrested and fired, this is all her fault, she works here." So Karen was loaded into the other police car and off she went with Hulk to jail for bucking. In anticipation of a few questions readers might have. Number 1. Yes, I pressed charges and Karen spent some quality time in prison among other court requirements. Number 2. Hulk ended up being placed with a family in another county I worked, and I got the pleasure of supervising him. Hulk was actually a pretty decent kid. He just had a very bad day, and the kid he attacked was part of a gang that had been harassing him, and he just finally snapped. Hence me calling him Hulk in the story. He was successful and joined the armed forces, and is still doing well in life and staying out of legal trouble at least. Number 3, my cuts healed and left minimal scarring. And number 4, I wasn't just smug, I had Scarlett O'Hara level resting B-face smile as they escorted her away, and again at her court hearing. Yeah, I really wonder where this kid got his behavior from, because it doesn't sound like his parents are crazy or anything, and then once he got moved to another county, he started doing well in life. I wonder how that occurred. I just wanted to eat pizza in peace. I was in a pizza place. I was going to feed my hungry self. I had been craving delicious pasta and pizza all day, and I went in and was seated by a delightful young lady around my age, 24. As I was waiting on my food order, I noticed a woman around her mid-40s was staring at me, and I was beginning to feel very uncomfortable, as I really dislike people staring at me. Well, the woman comes up to me and asks why I'm not working and if they could get the food faster. I tell her I'm sorry, I don't work here, and I'm waiting on my food as well. This is ridiculous. My family is hungry. Feed me now. At this moment, she was causing a scene, and I politely tell her I do not work here and to please leave me alone. You fat cow, you can feed me, I do not care if you're on a break. At this moment, I go and find an employee and tell them what's going on. Now, I am overweight, so I do get insults sometimes from rude people. I just had enough of this cranky, crazy lady. An employee confirms that I don't work here, and to calm down, or she will be asked to leave. She finally realizes her mistake and apologizes, claiming it's the change, menopause, making her crazy, lol. I finally got my food and ate in pizza peace. What I don't understand is, even if they were working there and they were on their break, and you thought they were on your break, you don't have to work when you're on your break, like what? I'll call this working for free. Every so often, I have to go to Home Depot for parts while I'm on the job, and while I'm in the plumbing parts aisle, I hear the Home Depot Master Plumber. They supposedly hire trade-experienced employees to work departments there, talking with a customer about piping and water softeners. It just so happens that I work in the water conditioning business. The Home Depot employee was being a douche to this older gentleman and ended up walking away. Customer disappointed. So I did the nice thing and walked up to this guy, told him who I was and who I worked for. Hello sir, I couldn't help but overhear you're having an issue. I don't work here, but I can give you a hand. I introduced myself and my profession. Thank you. I am having issues with my water and I don't know what system to choose. I will be honest sir, I custom build systems and install them, but I will help you pick out a system that should be able to meet your needs. We find a system that would at least last him a year or two. Water is bad around my parts and cheap systems go fast. As he walks away, another few customers come up to me asking for assistance with advice because they overheard me with the other guy. No, I am actually on my company's time right now. I helped them as fast as I could and started walking away when the actual plumber guy that works at Home Depot called out to me. So, you must be the guy they hired to replace me. No sir, I'm military so I call everyone sir and ma'am. I just felt compelled to donate some time to some neglected customers. So, you're soliciting Home Depot's customers. Do I need to call the police? It got heated. No, I just sold 3 of Home Depot's cheap water softeners to 3 neglected customers in under an hour and a half. I just did your job for you. Maybe you should stop making a scene and neglecting all of your other customers before I go and get your manager and close my business account with Home Depot. The Home Depot plumber dude stormed off like a child. I finished gathering the materials I was lacking for the next job, when the third person I helped walked back up to me and apologized because she heard how the plumber dude was talking to me and ended up just asking for my number to have me just take care of it for her, Me being in a sticky situation, I asked her if I could give it to her when we were out of the store so it didn't look like I was soliciting. I checked out and walked outside, gave the lady my business number and said goodbye. Just until the police rolled up and started questioning me about soliciting business. I plainly stated what happened in the store and I was just trying to help some customers out. Store manager and plumber dude came out and started batting off their BS and how they have me on camera. Just when the third lady was pulling out and seen me, the plumber dude, store manager and the police outside going at it and got out of her car to back me up. While she was going at it and giving her story of the Home Depot employee disappointment, the other two people walk out with their Home Depot water softeners and thanked me for my help and waved and I waved back. The Home Depot store manager stopped the conversation and apologized to me and told the plumber dude he was fired. I tried to stop the manager, but he was angry when he saw that my story was solid and those customers walked out surprised and happy as could be. So yeah, that's the story. If you work in customer service and you're specialized, just help out like every once in a while. You don't have to be so much of a douche about it and just be, oh, I can't be bothered helping you, I'm just gonna leave. Like, yeah, you'll end up getting fired. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon.